Hi everybody, tips and tricks from Kristen here. If you've been wondering how to make a Jamboard so that your lessons can be more interactive and fun, kids can move little pieces, you can put them into groups or assign this individually or actually work together collaboratively while you're teaching, I'm going to show you in a few easy steps. So here's an example of a Fundations board, but let's start with something totally new. Okay, so let's say you are going to do a lesson on retelling. You probably already have all sorts of documents such as this saved in your drive, or you can just do a Google search and find them. Once you find the tool that you're planning on using, this nice story retelling rope is the one that I'm going to use. I'm just going to click Command-Shift-4, and I'm just going to make a screenshot. Then I'm going to make individual screenshots right here of each and every one of these little icons. So you can actually go into the next page and make them easier. This is just the one that I have, but you get the idea. Once you have everything you need, you're ready to start your own Jamboard. So just go over, start a new tab, and just put Jamboard. And jamboard.google.com will pop up. And I'm already signed in, so here I have my Jamboards that I've created recently. Here's the one that I just started with showing you. All you're going to do is you're going to start a new Jamboard, little plus sign right here. And that will open up a new frame, we call them, or a new Jamboard. Whatever you want to call it is fine. This one, I'm going to retitle it right when I start, just so I have a good habit and I get used to doing that so I don't have a lot of untitled Jamboards. This is going to be Retelling Rope. Okay. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to these tools. You can either use a pen tool. If you click on it, you can see the different types of pens or markers or paintbrushes, and you can also see the different colors you can choose. You can pick an eraser, you can pick a pointer, or the little cute sticky notes that I was showing you earlier, more about that later, or an image or a shape, text, or a pointer so that you can point to what you're doing and that will disappear shortly thereafter, just to get the kids' attention. I'm going to go and grab that template that I just took a screenshot of. And here it is. I'm just going to double click it. And that's going to bring it right into our frame. Now, there are a couple little points here. This one is just a normal little circle that can make it a little bit bigger. This one makes it sort of tilt a little bit or the other way. This one gives you choices to duplicate your picture or delete it or put it in order, like if you're putting things on top of each other, but you don't have to worry about that for now. So I'm just going to drag this up here into the corner. You'll be amazed how quick and easy it is to drag all these things on Jamboard. And I'm going to make it bigger. Okay, so you can use this while you're talking with the kids and teaching them about retelling ropes, or you can just use it after you've already taught that, whatever works for you. So I have my retelling rope here, and now I'm just going to click on the image again. I'm going to go back and grab all of the other pieces that we took screenshots of. Okay, so now we've got all these pieces saved. I didn't think you'd want to watch me go grab all of those. After you have your pieces saved, you might want to have maybe a screenshot. That's again, Command-Shift-4, and just grab the cover of the book that you read. So then we'll go back into our Jamboard. Once again, we go to Photos, select from your device, and you can resize it and then just give it a little tilt just to remind them what you're talking about, the story that you read as you're retelling. And then the kids all have access to the Jamboard. They can move these pieces. So instead of just listening to you go through the retelling rope and pointing, you can actually ask students, what's the first thing we do when we're retelling a story? And if they want to, they can grab it and drag it. And so it's like making the pieces of a puzzle. So they're interacting and hoping to be called on next. So they're going to be engaged while they're retelling. You can ask them, okay, so we have the setting, we have the characters. What's the next thing when we retell a story? And then they can say problem, and then you can call them and they can come and make like the pieces of the puzzle while they're talking about it. So that will help them to be more engaged rather than just listening to you while you just point. So that's just a quick way to make a Jamboard. There are so many possibilities. Another Jamboard that I made recently, I'll just take a moment to show you this one. This sort of can build on that lesson. So I happen to have one that also included the 3 little pigs. It must be an easy one to use as an example. So I made a lesson using a Venn diagram, and the kids in this example, they were a little bit older. They were able to type. So they talked about the differences between the 3 little pigs and Goldilocks and the things that are the same. And here the kids are a little bit older, so they can make their own sticky notes. So there was a wolf in this one. So then they just they can pick their color, whatever they want. They hit save, and there's the sticky note. Now, one thing I like to recommend, you can double click on it again to edit it. I would have the kids either put their initials or their name, or you can even give them little nicknames so they're a little bit anonymous so that you know who said what if the kids are adding. Because you can have all the kids adding collaboratively all together in real time, or you can create a series of these and assign them as sort of a breakout room and have kids in groups working on different Venn diagrams and come back together and talk about it, depending on the age and how many of these samples you've done and how comfortable they are using Jamboard. So once you get started with Jamboard, I'm quite sure you'll find that it's very easy to use, very easy to create interactive lessons. If you just drop a link to a Jamboard in the middle of your slideshow, the kids will really be engaged, and that's going to really help them to learn. So also what you want to do is when it comes time to share, you're going to want to make sure that you right away, I always do this with all of them so that I never have to worry about permissions and people asking me for links. I just change it from restricted to anybody in Grafton Public Schools. And then you really need to change it to editor, from viewer to editor, so that the kids can move these things around. Also teach them what the undo button is in case they make a mistake. All right, that's it. That's Jamboard. I hope you enjoyed this quick little tutorial. I hope you feel comfortable using it. It couldn't be easier. If you have any questions, be sure to reach out. And these little tools that I've already shared with you today, these templates, will be available via email. Thanks a lot. See you later.